What's up, YouTube? It's my 6th or 7th video of the channel, and I feel like I have an excuse every time I upload because I try to be consistent and then something happens and it ruins the upload for the day. I know last week I was recording and then my SD card got full, and as you know, I do these videos in the car, so there's really no way for me to just adjust and record the video. But the topic for the day would be why I believe as a man you're better off in a relationship than being single if you're like working towards something in your life. And I want to preface this by saying that this definitely depends on if you have a stable, understanding, soft partner, because sometimes your partner may make your life a living hell. But if you have someone that's like very supportive of what you do and understands, then you'll definitely be very, very well off in the situations. But the first point I wanted to talk about is how you become more financially stable once you get in a relationship with someone that actually understands. Because if you look at it, if you're a single man and you're dating around, you're constantly planning for dates, constantly paying for meals, constantly doing this, constantly doing that to try to find a partner. When you have a partner, yeah, you still do all those things because you should, but in my opinion, and from what I see, you definitely spend much less money in dating situations because you don't have to court someone actively like how you may when you first meet somebody or you're meeting people. Now, you may spend, more for a vacation, but I mean, we all regular people. We ain't going on vacations every month. So technically, you will have more financially, you'll be more financially stable, and you would have to spend less money on your partner. And I know this is definitely depends on who you talk to, but just in general, and not to be too specific, you will probably spend less money overall on a partner, besides when big holidays and stuff like that come up. My next point would be financially, whatever you want to call it, financial as well. Once you get a good partner and y'all locked in together and y'all might have been together 2-3 years, that dual income kind of, helps both of you guys. I know rent in Atlanta is, $18, $19, $2,000 plus. And you sit around and you think, why are they building all these luxury apartments, Because obviously, like, the average salary in the United States is like 50, 60K or something like that. I don't think you will even get approved to make 2.5 or 3 times the rent with that salary for those apartments. And I started thinking, who are the people that can afford this? Because everyone isn't a tech bro or a finance or a lawyer or whatever like that. And I realized that is, you either have a roommate or you have your partner that also has a career, and y'all may not have any kids, but y'all also can't afford a house. So that's who is affording those apartments. They call them DINKs, D-I-N-K-S, dual income, no kids. So if you were a single guy and you did make enough for that rent, and this can go down a whole nother rabbit hole with the 50-50 conversations and things of that nature. But let's just say 50-50 for the sake of the video, and what white folks do, 50-50 for the sake of the video. Instead of you making 120K and getting a $2,000 or $2,100 apartment, you're now splitting it 50-50 with your partner that also graduated college and has a good career. Now you're spending $1,000 or $1,100 a month, and you make $120K. And usually rent is the biggest portion of everyone's bill, or the mortgage is the biggest expense of everyone's month. So imagine making that much money and then splitting your rent in half. You'll have a lot of extra income for the month. And if you're a good partner, it's not all on them. If you're a good partner, then that extra money should automatically almost like trickle back to your partner in a way, because you just have so much more disposable income. And you can go on trips, dates, not as much as if you were like dating around and stuff like that, but you definitely have way more money to pour back into your partner in whatever aspect that may be for y'all. And I know that kind of goes into my next point. Well, this point goes back to my first point. As a man, when you're dating around, there's so many distractions. You're worried about this woman here, that woman there, worried about this one, texting 5 people. You just totally distracted from whatever you're trying to work on. So just say if I had like an online business and I'm trying to get my work done, I need to lock in and and get this assignment done on whatever project page up, whatever like that. Imagine getting 2-3 calls in the middle of what you're trying to do, 2 text messages, people asking what you want to do today, people asking to get on the phone. Women like attention, and if you think that if they think you're talking to them, they're going to want your attention. So it kind of splits your attention in 6 different ways, when you should be solely focusing on your craft or whatever you're trying to get better in. And you can really apply that to anything in life, whether you play sports, you're an entertainer, you're studying for a test. You can apply that to anything. And I'm not saying it's impossible to start something or work on something and be single and talk to multiple women, but I just feel like, me personally, I feel like if you're with one person, you're less distracted and you have more time to focus on your craft, which makes you better at whatever you're trying to do in your life and work towards in your life. And not only that, do you have more time to focus on your craft, you also have a support system for when not just when stuff goes wrong and what you're working on, but just anything. You got an emotional support. They're not an emotional support animal, but stuff goes bad in a relationship, or stuff happens in a relationship that may be bad, and you may need somebody to lean on emotionally or whatever like that. And if you have a good partner, they can definitely help you with that. Just for example, I had my business and it was doing good, to say I just started, and then 1 month came around and it was almost like a drought. Now, I know that businesses come with its flows and ups and downs, and that's just how it is naturally. But just hearing that from someone else's mouth makes you feel way more better about the situation. I don't know if everyone's like that, but it's definitely better, or it's definitely helpful to hear it from someone else's mouth, to be honest, because sometimes you just in your head and you kind of don't trust what you think yourself, and it's always good to get that second opinion, just off how we are as humans. So that can definitely be helpful when whatever you're trying to work with. I want to bring my next point up. in the way that when you're working on whatever craft you are, or when you're working on the craft that you're working on as a man, and you have like a very good, supportive, loving partner, honestly, I feel like that gives you the drive to go even harder for whatever you're working at, because you know what, if this pops off, what it can get you and the positions it can put your partner in. I know sometimes if I'm tired or I just don't feel like doing something today, like just knowing that I can like not change my partner's life as well, but give them the life that you feel that they truly deserve, it kind of gives you that extra juice of motivation to you know, let's do that task today, let's post that video today, let's do that today, let's do whatever today. And it just makes you, I know, like I just said, makes you more motivated, because you know you can give the life that your partner deserves, because you know they're wonderful and loving and supporting people. I know everyone doesn't have the best partner, and I know this advice is very, very, very like contingent on if you have a good partner that's like supporting you. So I mean, these points have a little bit of nuance to them, but I mean, if you go out and find that person or your person and you continue to work on your craft, I'm like 1000% sure that as a man, you will come out way better on the other side, rather than just, you know, being distracted and, you know, I don't want to say it, just being distracted and talking to 3,000 women or whatever like that. I mean, if you look at the world, pretty much all the billionaires, and I don't want to sound cliche, all the billionaires all have wives. Nah, I'm not saying they got divorced and all that after, but pretty much every billionaire has a wife. So I definitely think as a man, the way to go if you want to be super successful, and I'm not saying you can't be successful if you have multiple partners or single, but I feel like your chances are increased if you have one partner, a solid partner that understands what you want to work at and lets you flourish. But this one, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I will post again Wednesday, almost to my job. So we will see what the next topic is about. If you guys can comment below and let me know what you guys want to hear, I'll do a little bit of research on it, and then we can go from there. But appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys Wednesday.